I'm excited to show you how to make corned beef and cabbage hash. Now this is something I make usually the day after St. Patrick's Day because I always make corned beef and cabbage with those potatoes on St. Patrick's Day. And with the leftovers, this is the perfect meal. Now maybe you don't have all the leftover potatoes and cabbage, and so we're gonna prep those ingredients, really simple to do. I'm gonna take some red potatoes, and whether they're large or small, we want them to be in about 1/2 inch cubes. So that depends, like if you're using the cute little baby potatoes, just cut them in half. If you're using a large red potato, you might have to cut it into 8s or whatever. And what we're going for is about 2 cups of those diced potatoes. Now you could use a Yukon Gold. That's another delicious waxy potato that I enjoy with this dish, but reds are usually the ones that I'm grabbing. Once you've got about 2 cups of that cut up, we're gonna head over to the stove. We're gonna take those cubed up potatoes, add them into a pot of water, and then crank that up over high heat until it comes to a rolling boil, where we're gonna let them boil for about 7 to 8 minutes until they're just fork tender. Then it's time to drain them. The potatoes are drained, set those aside and prep the other ingredients. We're going to cut a little bit of this cabbage because it's corned beef and cabbage hash, right? You have to have cabbage. For the cabbage, I want it finely cut up, not like coleslaw, shredded like angel hair necessarily, but I want each piece of this hash to have all the components. So we're gonna cut it into little strips first. Then we're gonna take those strips and cut them again. So we've got little cabbage cubes. And then we're gonna simply cut up an onion. And if you don't love onions, well, that's fine, you don't have to use it. But we just want a little bit of onion in there too. All of those ingredients are ready. Now let's go and make some hash. We're gonna be using a large skillet over high heat, and we're gonna add in 6 tablespoons of salted butter. Give that a stir and let it get melted. Once that butter is melted, we're gonna add in that chopped onion, and we're gonna let that saute for about 3 to 4 minutes. What we're looking for is a little bit of color, but for our onions to become more translucent. And of course, it's gonna smell amazing. Those onions have become fragrant, and now we're gonna add in about 2 cloves of garlic. And I like fresh, because fresh is best, but if you're using the garlic, that's all right too. Go ahead and let that saute for about a minute. You don't wanna go too long on the garlic. Now it's time to add in those potatoes. Our 4 cups of cooked and cubed up corned beef. And I love corned beef. It is so salty, so satisfying. I look forward to it every year. And then we're gonna add in that 1 cup of shredded up cabbage. Give everything a stir, and we're gonna turn that heat down to medium. We don't wanna cook it too fast. What's gonna happen here is our cabbage is gonna cook down and release some of those juices, steaming up the rest of it. It's all gonna come together beautifully. So keep giving that a little stir, making sure all of that stuff is coated with that butter. And as you're stirring this, you're going to break up those potatoes and those pieces of corned beef. Now, as you're breaking this up and stirring it around, if you feel like you need to add in a little bit more fat in the form of butter or a little bit of cooking oil or whatnot, do so. But it's gonna really depend on the leftover corned beef that you're putting in this. Now, corned beef can come in a flat or a point. The point tends to be a lot more fatty, and so you might not need to add in that extra fat. It really depends on what's going into that pot. I'm adding a little bit more of this fat because I did use the flat of the corned beef. And what does that mean? Corned beef actually comes from a brisket, and it is the flat, not the point. So it is a leaner piece of that beef. So I'm just gonna give it a little bit more of that fat because the fat is going to give us that crispy texture for our hash. Now that we've stirred it, broke it up quite a bit, what you're gonna do to establish that crispy crust is you're going to mash that flat, and you're gonna leave it alone. Because if you're stirring, you're not gonna create that crust. We're gonna let that cook, mashed flat for about 5 to 7 minutes, and then we're gonna give it a flip. it's time to flip, loosen that up. Oh, here comes the moment of truth, the beautifulness. Look at that, it's getting brown and beautiful. You just want to flip this over because we're looking for that yummy brown crispiness. That's why corned beef and cabbage hash just works so well, because the cabbage softens up, the potatoes get that crispiness, and our corned beef gives all of that yummy flavor to the rest of the dish. Just make sure we are keeping that stirred, because we don't want burned pieces and not browned pieces in our hash. You can see I'm still just kind of breaking it up. We're just gonna keep flipping this until it's crisped to your liking. We're just gonna give that one a final flip, and I think it looks perfectly crispy on those potatoes. Our cabbage has softened down beautifully. And now it's time to season it with a little bit of salt and pepper to your liking, and then you can just dive right in. I say to season it with salt and pepper to your liking because really not all corned beefs are created equal, and some are extra salty and some are not as salty as the others. This is one of my favorite ways to use up leftover corned beef. Thanks for watching. Make sure to click that link below in the description and it'll head over to the website where you can find hundreds of restaurant quality recipes that you can easily make at home. We'll see you later.